Sales Babble is sponsored by Wingman, your source for actionable sales intelligence. This is the Sales Babble Podcast, episode 416, Owning Up to Mistakes.
Welcome to Sales Babble, the podcast that shares selling secrets for non-sellers. And now your host, Pat Helmers.
Hello, Sales Babblers. This is Pat Helmers. And do you like being right and hate being wrong? Or being called out for making a mistake or goofing up? And let me add to that. Have you ever had to apologize for your mistake, or worse, your company's mistake? Unfortunately, once in a while, this situation pops up, and it's extremely uncomfortable for the sales professional, which is why it's our topic for today: advice on what to do when you've done wrong, and the importance of owning up to mistakes. I was reading a recent study from the Mayo Clinic, and it said that you're more likely to forget things if your office is cluttered and your notes are in disarray. Sadly, this is a common situation for sales professionals who are juggling a number of deals all at once. Furthermore, they recommend that you should jot down tasks and appointments and other events in a special notebook or a calendar or planner. And this is where our sponsor Wingman comes to the rescue. Wingman automatically records meetings and transcribes the entire conversation. There's no need for sales reps to take notes in a separate notebook. Instead, you can now focus on your conversation with the prospects rather than trying to capture all the important stuff they say. Anything you can do to optimize your listening enhances your ability to build relationships and close more business. Go to trywingman.com/salesbabble and get a free demo for a free trial today. Wingman, it's your source for actionable sales intelligence. And now, here's today's chapter, Owning Up to Mistakes. A master seller knows they are not perfect. When they make a mistake, they realize it. Having realized it, they own up to it. Having owned up to it, they correct it. They consider clients who point out their faults as their teachers. They think of their competition as being as perfect and flawed as themselves. And now today's story. Chris goofed up, and Chris knew it. Lee asked Chris for 2 simple requests, but they fell between the cracks, and now Chris was scrambling. This lack of attention was noticed by Lee, and no doubt they were considering yanking the contract. What was Chris to do? Chris asked Pat, "I know I screwed up, but it's not all my fault. Lee never returned the report they promised to send, and I asked customer experience for an update, but they never got back to me, and now we're in this predicament. This could permanently damage our relationship. How can I fix it?" Pat nodded, and then reframed the situation. "We're only humans, Chris. People make mistakes, and when those things happen, it's best to just come clean and own it. I get that it's not all your fault, but we salespeople are the face of the company. If you're going to be successful in sales, you will need to get used to apologizing for mistakes you never made. Tell them it's all your fault, even if it's not. Tell them we should have done better, and then ask, what can we do to make this right? Own it completely. When you do that, you might find Lee will be very generous and forgive us. What they mostly want is just to be heard. Again, own it and ask what it will take to make this right. And then do it." Ben Franklin wisely said, quote, "Never ruin an apology with an excuse." I can't count the number of times I've had to humble myself before a client due to a mistake I made, or more often, my company made. but I never shared an excuse, even if I had a good one. 9 out of 10 times, the client was totally okay with a quick resolution if I totally owned the mistake. In fact, often they would step up and take part ownership of the issue. The best way to deal with a situation was to just call it for what it is and make things right. Take ownership of the mistake, fix it, and then move on. It's the thing professional sales people do. To download a copy of this week's Tao Te Ching of Sales chapter, you can find it in the show notes at www.salesbabble.com. You can also find links to our sponsor, Wingman. Wingman's your source for actionable sales intelligence. Go to trywingman.com/salesbabble and get a free demo for a free trial today. Please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast. Plus, go to salesbabble.com. When you're at the website, sign up for our email list, and you'll be able to download a free copy of the Tao Te Ching of Sales ebook. This is the book that's been the inspiration for these Sales Babble episodes, and you can see what topics we'll be covering in the future. Use this book for your daily inspiration with short, one-page chapters on a balanced, non-pushy approach when selling. If you found value in this episode, please share it with a friend, just one person who's open to growing their sales skills. And if you'd like to dig deeper into this topic, don't hesitate to reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn or go to the website and send me a message. Would love to chat. With that said, that's all I've got for this week. Until next Tuesday, take care and have a highly successful and a profitable selling day.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Babble podcast. Find us at www.salesbabble.com.
This is a production of Habanero Media.